Yeah, what's going on, Lash? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode 22 of season number 2. This main topic for today's podcast will be about the teams that have been on a streak. I call it Streak Week because there's
Oh
been
yeah.
a couple teams, 3 teams in mind that really gone on a streak. And as you know, there's a week and 4 days left of the season, and this is when you want to be playing your best ball
You would hope
because
so.
either
You would
you're
hope so.
yeah, well, you're trying to. There's two things you're trying to do: either trying to win your division or you're trying to just get into the last wild card spot, like the Giants and
Yeah, you trying to clinch something real quick. You know
Arizona.
what I'm saying?
Actually,
Yeah.
Arizona just dropped San Francisco. Anyway, the 3 teams that came to mind. The first one is the Seattle Mariners. As of today, uh, they currently have a 10-game winning streak. They've been one of the hottest teams, and they surpassed or tied the Astros for the American League West. At the trade deadline or even at this All Star break, I was like, Houston's going to win that division. They were just so good. Seattle was barely getting by. They only had one guy carrying them, and that's Cal Raleigh, who just the other day hit his 56th home run. He leads all catchers. He's broken the
Cheater.
record.
Yeah, we spoke about that. That's that. That's that. He's DHing on his
Cal
days
Raleigh.
off. He's cheating. He's
Well,
cheating.
listen,
He's
whether you're
cheating.
DHing or catcher,
No, because
it
the
still
record is for
counts.
no, because the record is for catchers. You know what I'm saying? So the home runs, right, that he hit as a DH shouldn't be
Shouldn't count.
counted exactly. And you
That's
know
a good
what?
point.
I stand on that because you're breaking, greats like Johnny Bench's record. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You're doing that, but you're cheating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're a catcher, but you're a DH as well. So those home runs you hit as a DH, separate those from the ones he had as a catcher for him to be able to break that record. You know what I'm saying? So on the days that he was on his knees, you know what I'm saying? Hurting, he was still hitting, cracking them over the fence. You know what I'm saying? Those are the days that shit counts. Excuse my French, but
When he's catching.
you know what I'm
But
saying? Interesting
he's catching
topic.
more than DHing. But you know what? You could say that about you could say the same thing when Aaron Judge broke his all-time home run record. There was days where he was just DHing, not fielding.
Yeah, yeah, but he
Uh,
was hitting every day, period. You know what I'm saying? He's a fielder. He's a fielder. So that doesn't,
yeah, but
he
there was
if,
times he wasn't
you
fielding.
know, yeah, yeah,
He
but it doesn't
DH.
matter. But at that point, you know what he's racing for? He's racing for, you know what I'm saying, the home run, the let's see who gets the home run championship going. So that's what he's going for. Home run race. He's not going for anything else. I mean, this guy's going for that too. You know what I'm saying? At the same time. But we're talking about breaking a specific record, you know what I'm saying? So if those guys prior to him, especially if they played in the National League, right? There was no
There was
slot
no
for him.
DH.
There was no DH. There was no slot for Johnny Bench to, you know what I'm saying, accumulate more homers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think so. It's not fair. Now,
Yeah,
if the
I,
Reds played in the American League, then Johnny Bench could have DH'd on his days off. You know what I'm
or they
saying?
just had universal DH like we do now.
Now, but that wasn't the
They
case
didn't
back
have that.
then. So how is that fair for Mr. Bench and his record? How is that fair? Not fair at all.
Yeah. Well, same thing can be said for the home run record that
That Barry
Bonds
Bonds holds.
because
Yes, we
they
know. Well, everybody know.
technically didn't prove that he was cheating, but there's no proof. But we all know that he was. He just never physically got caught doing it. And
And
he's
I feel like, yeah, it's
he's
crazy. I
gonna go
feel
to
like he
his
didn't need it.
grave without telling nobody.
Okay, I
You
just
know,
want to have an update. The Mets, yes, the Mets were tied. We had just tied it with
2-2.
Marte, and then Machado just hits a grand slam,
Oh,
6-2,
well,
top of the fifth, two
you know who
outs.
I'm rooting for in the postseason since the Orioles are done.
Yeah,
I call them the Orioles of the West because they have 3 Orioles on their team. The Padres. But anyway, so going back to the Mariners, we as fans, we have things that we like to do to like prevent the team from like jinxing or couple like last year the Mets had the that purple grimace guy, and he said,
Yeah, we had a lot of
friends
things going
bought
on.
into it. Think he was the reason why they got into a hot streak, and
Yeah, the oh my
like,
god
or
business. You
yeah,
know
oh my god, business, or they had the blow up what's it called? That blow up doll that Craig was talking about.
which one?
Remember that the he was the blow up doll you sent? I forgot what it was called. Something.
The
Anyway, they
Pablo
had some.
Sanchez, the Pablo
Yeah,
Sanchez though.
that yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's
they
a
had like
video
a
game character.
what's the opposite of Jinx? Anyway, something to get the team morale going. And
Yeah, yeah. It can work.
anyway,
It can
so
work.
Seattle,
Every
there's this
team does
fan.
it.
Yeah, every team does it. It's a little gimmick to get the fans involved, and
Definitely
in reality, we know those
fun
things don't
though.
really work. It has to do with the
No, but it's
players.
fun though. It's fun though. It's fun.
But it's fun to talk about. We had a chats with Craig. Craig's fell in love with Grimace. I jokingly call Grimace Craig's boyfriend, but because he was obsessed with him. But
Yeah.
anyway, this fan in Seattle, his name was Stephen Blackman, and he's just frustrated with the team losing, and he said, "Well, let's see if I can stop the curse and maybe do something. Well, spark a run in the team." Well, so what he decided to do, he went on a website called Etsy. For those who don't know Etsy, it's it's another form of Amazon, but it's more like artistic stuff.
Yeah, I
Like you
seen
can get
sometimes.
mostly girls get these stuff. So for example, a lot of the nurses I work with, they like to buy the badge reels because you can decorate them to like whatever you want to
What's
say.
that?
You can
What's
say
that? Say it again.
like
What was
badge
it?
reels,
What's
like
that?
for your ID and your land, so you can hold your
Okay,
ID
got you,
on it.
got you, got you.
Badge
Like a
reels, so you can like
okay,
swipe down to get into a building.
got you, got you,
So
got
the
you. Like
nurses
a
will buy
lanyard
that.
type deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a ID. It's an ID badge holder. Anyway, you can buy this little circle and you can decorate it to whatever you want. It could be a picture of your cat, dog, baseball team, you name it. Anyway, so this fan came up with an idea and on how to fix the Mariners, as he calls it, and so he calls it. He said he basically paid Etchy Witch to break the curse of the Mariners
Oh yeah.
losing. Because at the time, the Mariners who had lost four in a row and lost six out of the 7 games. The idea to lift the curse actually particularly came from his best friend. Um, he told to the news, she and I have made jokes in the past about using magic or witchcraft or something to fix various things in our lives, and she suggested a few months ago, "Hey, why don't you hire a witchcraft to fix the Mariners?" So he basically posted a sign to the game. He bought a sign for like $15 or $16, uh, and it says he made a sign basically to get their act together and start winning baseball games again. The team then arrived home to sweep the Los Angeles Cardinals 3 games and take the first of the 4 game series against the Angels. He's basically uh, been a fan his whole life. But anyway, ever since that happened, they've gone on a streak, and now they're on a 10-game winning streak so far. But
But
what's really done it is their pitching staff has really come together, and their bullpen has been really good, and the offense is doing well, but the pitching is what's been dominant for them and the bullpen. Because when you think about some of the guys that got Eugenio Suarez and all these other guys,
J Rod,
J Rod, Crawford, all that guys, they haven't been
I have a pretty
contributing
squad.
as much as they should and were expected. And, I always looked at the Mariners as, they're always good in the regular season, but, either choke at the finish line or get across the finish line and then fall again. And then their season tends to be over. But they've took advantage of Houston, kind of who went on a slump in the August and stuff. And September turned a new page, and they've been on fire since. And they're on. They might be able to. They might be able to win the West, if not at best get the wild card spot. Uh, right now, they'll be winning the West. Um, so right now they have the first place spot for the West. So if they win the division, they would be the third best team, which means that they would have to play in a first round against a wild card team, but they would have home field advantage in the first round, which to me, um, I don't know if it really matters. Now, home field is not like the way it is in football, in my opinion, because
Nah, home
there's
field is
back and
home
forth.
field is important, man. In baseball,
You think
listen,
so?
yeah, of course, it's very important. Listen, there's something electric and something completely different about the crowd in one of these games. I've been to them, and it's not the same regular old baseball. It's a different energy. It feels amazing. It's something special. Home field advantage is is great. It's great. It can definitely take out an opposing team. You know what I'm saying? It can definitely, and remember, you can slick the streets however you want. Some guys like their, sand a little bit on the harder side, softer side, depending on what you need. You get that at home. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, you have the fans. You know what I'm saying? You have, you know your dimensions better than any other ballpark. You know what I'm saying?
You get last at bat in the playoffs
You get
without
the
being on
last at
second,
bat. Thank you. Another
which is
great
key.
one. Of course, of course. Listen, there's a lot of things about being at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, seriously. If you lose your first game of the playoffs playing at home, you fucked up. You fucked up. Because that first W is very important in the playoffs. It puts you in a very good position. It takes a little bit of the pressure off, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And then you didn't waste pitching. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. You put your best foot forward and you lose, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Because then tomorrow you have to think about what you're gonna do. You just finished throwing the ace at this team and he lost. You
Mm.
know? That's crazy. That's why baseball is so dramatic and so amazing, because you play hard all year to get to these moments. And
Mm,
then
It's a,
one error can kill the whole game for your whole team.
or look at the Yankees. One inning could kill the World Series, and they lost. That's the difference
Yeah,
between going to because if they hadn't messed up, they would have gone to Game Seven. They were playing pretty well until they made those errors, and that's what cost them. So yeah, home field is that's the one good thing. But reason why I'm kind of hesitant about saying that is because my team last year, they had home field advantage, and they were the home team in the wild card, and they got swept essentially. They did. I think yeah. They no, they might have won one game, but either way, they looked terrible at home, and they just were gassed and they ran out. So and Texas, all the even look at the Mets. They were they had to go on the road and they went on a hot streak. Uh, so it could go either way, but it's baseball. It's all about getting hot at the right time.
yeah,
Um,
because
you know,
we'll
and
talk about
that's
that later.
if you can, if you're, last year the Mets got hot in the second half, and they just continued to ride that momentum all the way up
Yeah, this year
into,
was the opposite of that. We got
which is
hot in
so
the beginning.
weird, man. So it's just
I don't know,
they started out great, and then they've been struggling. But I was saying
struggling.
earlier,
Shit.
that's a nice way to put it, I guess. But you'll put it the way you want. But the nice, that's the nice thing. So this is why it is important to have a good lead, because if you do hit a rough patch in the road, you can regain control hopefully, and just stay on the track
Yeah,
without getting
that's
off.
true, but that's not what's happening here. What's
But it's
happening
not
here
happening
is
here
is
because they're
even
losing
worse
in
than what you just
chunks.
said. First of
Yeah,
all,
they're
you get you get to a point in the season where you're like, all right, we're playing decent. Philly's not doing so well. We're catching up. We got pretty close to them, and then we're like, damn, we have to play the Dodgers. I mean Detroit. We have to play Detroit, right? And of course, we're scared. And we took 2 out of 3, and then Cincinnati, another team that was on our asses in the wild card situation, right behind us, right, fighting for that last slot that we held on to. I don't know how. Cincinnati, they take the series, and I'm like, here we go. We won the first game, we lost the last two, and then the series that we were all waiting for. We're gonna play the Phillies. The Phillies are scared of us all season long. The Phillies have been able to play the Mets. They're making errors. They're not playing to their potential. They just fall to the Mets all year long. And now we're like, we're so close. If we win this series, we will be in first place again. What happens? We get swept. 4-game series. 4 game series, right? So if you add the last two in the Cincinnati series plus those four, that's six, right? Then we go and we play Texas. We get murdered and we win the last game. We snuck in the last one and we stopped the bleeding. 8 games. 8 games. And we're still hanging by a thread, holding on to that last wild card. And then last night, of course, I was at the stadium. I didn't care. I was there working, medical. Now, all I can hear is the crowd going crazy, man. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? These guys had an amazing first inning. That's what happened. And I'm like, all right, so we're showing some fight. Nah, now we're getting murdered again. This team, I don't know. If this team makes the playoffs, I keep telling everybody, this is the type of team that can turn it around in a playoff situation and win the whole shit. All right, because they have the pieces. They've proven that those pieces work. I like what they did with the young kids and they brought them up. I think they should have brought them up a little earlier. You know what I'm saying? And now they get the experience. So now next year we have problems because we can't go get pitching because we have too many pitchers. So we're gonna have to get rid of some or something. But we always have this tendency to get hurt. So I don't know what to do with the pitching. But we have those three young guys, McLean, Tong, and Sprout, right? So let's keep them. Let's keep them rolling. Keep Anaya and Clay Holmes in the first game yesterday. They used Clay Holmes right for the first half, and then they threw Manaya in, and he finished it. So that's a good combo that worked. So let's keep doing that, right? And
Yeah, you can have a
Senga
bullpen. You can have a bullpen game. You might have
with
like
starters.
a spot starter from the bullpen to start. Because you already know. Like I saw Manaya pitch yesterday, and I was like, you know what, he might be better in the bullpen because I think it's just taxing on him
No, no, no. But
to
he
have
played.
him pitch
He threw.
5 innings.
No, but he
You
threw
know,
like sick. He threw a lot. He threw.
yeah,
I'll give you the numbers right now. He threw. He threw half the game because and I
yeah.
wasn't
So,
watching, and I'm like, damn, he threw a lot. He finished the game. They didn't use the bullpen this last night. Let me see something. Let me double check that.
but
You know,
like I said, it's a different story if Mets don't score all those runs in the first period, in the first half. What do you call it, first inning? That's really propelled them.
I mean,
So
it
he
did. I
does
mean, we were
better.
hitting, and you know, we were hitting
They
Michael
they're
King.
better when he has the lead. It's just the way it is.
It was
You know
pretty
when
crazy. Listen,
when
so check this out. You say that, right? But Holmes went 4 innings, and Manaya went five. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
9 innings. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it right there, bro. And look at that. Look, Holmes gave up 3 hits. Manaya gave up 4 hits. Clay Holmes gave up 2 earned runs. Manaya gave up one. You know what I'm saying? And Holmes walked one. That's it. All right. And they struck out 6. Manaya struck out 4 and Clay 2. But you know what? That worked out. That 1-2 combo worked out. You know?
So now you can do that because you figured you already have you know who the three guys are gonna be playing if you're in a wild card game. All those three
Uh,
guys, all those rookies are gonna be playing or
I
starting
don't know.
in
I
those
don't know. I
three
don't know. I don't
games.
think all of them. I think McLean earned the spot, but I
And
don't
Tom
think and
or
Tang
Sprout.
was horrible. Nah, I wouldn't put either one of those in a playoff situation. If you're gonna
McLean would
do
be the third guy in the three
McLean
game
would be
series.
the no. I would put him first. I would get him out of the way. I would say go in there and do what you do, and I will make him smoke these guys. And you know what's funny? He'll be able to do it to a team he hasn't seen yet. So if we if
It's an
we get into
advantage.
it's an advantage exactly.
So that's one game in your pocket out of two. So
Exactly. You
you
see?
just need one guy. You just need Manaya or
Yeah.
whoever's gonna
No. You
start.
put Holmes and Manaya combo. You throw it in there. That saves your
That's
bullpen.
your second game, and then your third
Exactly.
game,
And
you
then the
could put
third
in
game,
whoever.
you can put in. I wouldn't put Senga in. I don't think Senga has it,
No,
man.
he's in triple.
I
He's not
wouldn't
coming
put.
back up.
I'll put Peterson in. Peterson.
You could do it. You could do it. Peterson
Yeah.
5 inning game, and then bring in somebody else, or you could bring up Senga, do 5 innings with Peterson, and then 4 games with
I
four
would
innings
finish
with
it. Yeah, with Senga.
what's his name,
Finish it with
Senga.
Senga. Finish it with Senga. So this way,
Get his confidence up.
exactly.
And then, so technically, you would have 2 games where you have to split your game. But if that works well, then you don't have to plow through your bullpen. So that gives those guys more rest, especially what's his name, Hausley, the guy they
Yeah,
got.
he's having problems. Yeah, Horsley.
He's been beyond terrible. But
Yeah, that's
story for
crazy.
another day.
No, but
Um,
Stern's even Stern said it. Stern said that his his acquirements at the trade deadline didn't
didn't
work
pan
out
out.
so well. Didn't pan out, man. Mullins didn't pan out, but
Mullins is the
I don't.
biggest surprise, in my opinion.
No. I don't blame Mullins. You know what it was? Because let me explain something to you. The day they got him, I remember I was excited to see him play, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is he not playing? He's not playing. And they kept playing Tyrone back there. I don't know what the hell the problem was. I couldn't understand why they went after Mullins, and then knowing he was a rental on top of that, and didn't let him play. You know what I'm saying? To earn a slot or be a consideration for next year. You know what I'm saying? They just let him sit, and he's not playing every day, so it's weird. So of course he's gonna dry up. You know what I'm saying? If he was ever hitting, he wasn't gonna hit like that. But whatever. The bullpen magic, they acquired a lot of good arms, and guess what? If I was Stearns myself, I would have done the same thing because he went after some good shit. All right, and I'm like, all right, he revitalized the bullpen. I'm like, holy shit, he just completely changed the
He
bullpen
got
around,
what they
and it looks
needed.
great.
He went after
He
needs,
did.
not
He
wants.
plugged
And
the
the
holes,
Yankees
but the
is
problem he didn't go
yeah.
after the pitching though. That's the
He
problem, right?
went
So
after
everybody
the
was
weakness, which is
complaining.
the bullpen. It's the
Yeah, it's the
hole.
bullpen. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? He should have. I mean, we lost a couple of prospects, but I would have probably went after a pitcher, but we have so many pitching problems because we were so good, and then all of a sudden we lost it, and then McGill fell apart. A lot of things happened to us, and then we couldn't go seven, and the bullpen imploded, and then a lot happened. Then we stopped hitting. Like I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? And then they kept juggling the lineup. You know what I'm saying? There was no consistency on the defensive side either. You know what I'm saying? Because you kept playing
Hmm.
McNeil at first, at second, left, center, right, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? We fucked up the platoon at third and shit with Viento's development after he earned that slot last year. He with Beatty's on second, he's on third, and then Mendoza has this weird thing when the eighth inning comes around, he'll just like completely swap out the whole lineup and shit,
Which
change
is weird.
everybody up
I don't
defensively.
like
It's
when they
very
do
weird
that.
too. I don't like when they do that either because I've seen errors happen because of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
you
you
have
bring somebody off
McNeil
the
in left field.
bench. It's
Yeah, I
not,
mean, why? Just forget that. You know what I'm saying? If you're winning and even you know what I'm saying, leave it alone. All right. You want to play that guy, play him tomorrow. But y'all know you want to get him some. You don't want him to just sit there, right? But not like that because you had McNeil in left field, right? You swap him out. You put him in second. You bring Nemo in now. You know what I'm saying, off the bench because he had a day off or whatever the fuck. And then you Vientos is playing third. You move him to first. You do all this weird shit, and then I
he
don't know.
doesn't
It's
belong
just
at first.
yeah, exactly. You do a lot of weird shit. It doesn't work out. But whatever, man.
And
Listen,
Mauricio is inconsistent at third.
no, but it's not his
Acuna
fault,
has been
man.
no Acuna doesn't get enough playing time. He's always getting
Not enough
swabbed
playing
out.
time. No one's getting
Huh?
swabbed out, so it's not good.
You
It's not
know,
good.
the only guys that get playing time are your catcher Alvarez, Nimmo, and Alonso, and then
And
but it's
Soto
funny because people are
and
starting to get people are, and Soto, yeah. The problem I've noticed is the people are starting to get upset with Nimmo too. They feel like he's been hasn't been producing as he was in the first half of the season.
but none of them have. None of them
But
have.
none of them, so you can't blame one guy. But he's been the one consistent, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
Because let's be honest,
he
he's
was
been the
always
most
consistent,
consistent, even when
but
everybody else
everybody
was
sucks.
trash.
Everybody's trash right
But
now.
now he's hitting the. He's feeling the same. It's like it's war. Oh, it's like it feels like it's worn off on him too. It's like, oh crap, he's feeling the bad vibe. But uh, I would as an Orioles fan, I was excited for you to get Cedric Mullins because he's a really good defensive player.
I like
He's
him.
average. He's average. He's not a home run hitter. He's that good on. He's a line drive type of hitter. He's not gonna hit bombs when he gets into when he gets it. But you got him for his defense and his bat, but
Belash,
mostly
we
his
figured
defense.
this out. We knew that was gonna happen from like the second week in the season. Like we already we if you go back and you
Yeah,
listen to these episodes, we were talking about this happening. We were making the trade happen, and we were making it a lot more juicier than what actually happened because we ended up getting three like no name prospects. You know what I'm saying? But still, though, that's the future. You never know what can come out of there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if there's the Grom hidden in there and shit.
well, the thing that the picture, the thing that surprised me. Okay, here's the reason why, in my opinion, the Mets didn't get starting pitcher. I feel like the demand was so high. Remember, the demand for a starting pitcher in the trade deadline is a lot more. It's a lot more. You have to give up more for a starter than you do bullpen because ideally you want to try to get a starting pitcher that has controllability for at least a couple years. But if there's a good starter out there on a losing team, uh, you know, for example, on the Orioles, they let Charlie Morton go. He was doing good, and then he was tradable. But let's say he was like maybe 10 years younger,
Yeah.
the demand would have been high, and it's just like, do you want to give up that much, if for a guy like that? So I
No,
think
it's not about that to
the
me. It's not
demand was
about
too
that.
high.
Okay, no, but I see it. This is how I see it. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how long you've been in the league for. I don't care if you've had up and downs in the past, right? If you own uh 11-5 record, you know, saying at the trade deadline, something, okay, let's go a little lower. 11-2. Let's do something like that, right? You have an 11-2 record, right? And you're a decent pitcher. You're a household name. You know what that means. A household name is Paul Skeens, you know what I'm saying? Scherzer, you know, these
DeGrom,
Otani, DeGrom, household names for baseball enthusiasts. You know what I'm saying? So now,
Reed, Cole,
exactly, free, exactly. So you
Otani.
understand exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So
Yeah,
he's one of these guys, right? But you say he's long in the tooth, right? You're saying that he's an older guy, right? And you need help for the playoffs, right? I'm definitely going after that. I don't care how high, the demand is. If you need that type of arm and you see what type of year he's having, you want to bring that over, you know? And whether or not, you're going to lose a decent prospect, you're thinking about the right now. Because, you know what I'm saying? If you're having a great season and you're like, damn, I'm missing a piece. And this piece is very important because we're going to need him in the playoffs. I don't think we have like a number one ace to shut them down at home when we get this home field advantage. You say to yourself, you know what? I'll give up the Beatty, I'll give up the and I'll throw some money in too if I have to. But I need this player. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do with him next year? Who cares about that? You wanna be able to say we won the championship, and I think that piece was important. Imagine that guy can win 3-4 games for you in the span of getting to the World Series and winning the championship, right?
yeah, he could be the one guy that carries you all the way through.
Exactly. You know,
That's what happened with the Braves a couple years ago. Every single trade piece they made, Soler and all the and more. I think they more. I don't know if they. I think they might have got more in that trade. In the I don't know if they got him in the Jacques Peterson, Eddie Rosario. All those guys they came over, and all those guys they carried the Braves to the championship in 21. So the trade
see?
doesn't guarantee you anything. It
No,
just
you
gives
have to
you
gamble.
hope.
It gives
It's
you
a
hope. You have
gamble.
to
It gives you
gamble.
hope because you're like, okay, hey, my team's all I need. They I can't say they didn't do nothing because they did. They went after who they thought, and now looking back, hindsight 2020, I feel like giving up Gilbert for the Mets was way too extreme for uh, what's his name, the guy you got from San Francisco, Hazley, what's his name?
Mosley.
Yeah, and now he's starting in San Francisco. So great, of course. Another guy that bit the Mets. Look at PCA.
Hey, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh,
It's okay. These things happen because you never know. You're gambling. You know what I'm
you
saying?
never
You
know. That's true. It
you
is a
take the
gamble.
piece and you're like, all right, I like this piece. You know what I'm saying? You say you're not giving them away. You're saying I like your piece and you want
Mhm.
this piece, but I'm fine with that. You have to agree to it. It's not like you going to
You're
sleep
not.
and you wake
Yeah.
up and your piece is missing. It's not like that. It's like you like this, I
It's
like
not like
that.
you're being, it's not like you're being held against your will. Government, give me the
Exactly,
guy now, or else
exactly.
I ain't gonna do it.
You
But you got to
decided that that
give,
was it.
but you got to give to get, and it
Exactly.
just sucks.
Sometimes it works
Um,
out better for the other side. You know what I'm saying?
but I was like, well, if you're gonna include him in a trade for a bullpen guy, you might. I would have just included him in a trade for a pitcher that had controllability. But there's not too many good starters that you're gonna trade for on bad teams. If you look at all the teams that are out of the playoffs already at the trade deadline, none of them have really great starters that were like, I need him on my team. You know what I mean?
I don't
It
feel you.
wasn't the
You
Corbin
nah,
Burns that was
nah,
available
but
this
there
year.
was a Paul Skeens out there, and nobody wanted to give that up. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give him up. So, that team is you know not ready. We'll say that. We're not gonna say they're trash. We're gonna say they're not ready. And will there ever be? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I just want to say that this game is crazy. Soto hits a home run, right? So it's a 6-3 game. And now
Yeah, I
Arez,
saw.
saying single to right, Diaz scores, and Arez stretched it out. Tatis on. Forget about it, man. This game is over, bro. Seven. We lost the second game. Now the rubber
7-3.
match tomorrow. Whatever.
Tomorrow's afternoon game. Are you working that game?
No, no, no.
Oh,
Tomorrow
Tong is
I'm
pitching.
on
Vasquez
the
pitching.
other side.
Wow.
Tomorrow's
You
a one
should be.
o'clock game.
You should be able to win tomorrow. Oh, that's a getaway game. They're probably
Ye-
traveling.
No, they're not.
Oh no, they
They're
got
not.
the Washington. Oh,
Yeah, they have Washington coming home, yeah. And
I
then they
think.
travel to Chicago and Miami. That's it. The season's over. That's it.
Yeah, you finish on the road.
Yep.
But yeah, it just like I said, even look at the Yankees too. They traded for what was it, two closers that or they were closers on Bednar and I already forgot his name. The guy from San Francisco. Um, I already forgot his name. But anyway, they were closers for their respective teams, and then they came over. They've been terrible, you know. So all the guys that the Yankees got, they haven't really helped them. They've actually cost them some games. Um, same with Cabanero, they put him in. What was it? Center Judge's left field one day, and he missed overplayed a hit a ball, and he missed it, and they lost the game because of it. So at the end of the day, you can blame Stearns, like why did you get this guy? He's terrible. He had no clue because at the time he was doing that guy. Those guys are doing great. You know, now you can look at the Philadelphia. It seems like everything the Philadelphia Phillies did is working. To me, they remind me of the Braves from 21. All the guys they traded for, they're doing great. Duran is doing well. Harrison Bader's killing it for them.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's working out. They
so it
rejuvenated
just
themselves. Yeah, this
it's
is their
and
last
because
year,
of that,
man.
they ran away with that division.
Nah, they ran out. They didn't run away with it. The Mets gave it
The
to them.
Mets gave it away, I guess.
The
Yeah,
Mets gave
I
it
don't
away,
know.
bro.
I
They
want to
were
be nice,
there.
but
Nah,
it's
nah.
frustrating because uh see the with the Mets, this is the problem is that your weakness is the starting rotation, and they tried fixing it with the three starters, which they did, but the problem
Nah, but
is
we
offense
still
is not
weren't hitting.
producing.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
everything. It's just not one
everything
thing.
has
It's
to click.
everything.
The pitching has to be on point. Starting has to be on point. Your relief has to be on point, and your offense. And if one of those three are not clicking,
Forget
to win a
about it.
championship, you need all three to click, and that's what happened with the Dodgers last year. All three phases clicked.
Yeah.
It's not like football; it's just two phases. They say special teams, but to me, offense and defense is the main. And baseball, you need all three phases. If your team's hitting home runs and scoring runs, but your bullpen comes in and keeps throwing up all over themselves, then guess what? Only two out of your three things are working.
Yeah, but
And that's the
if
other
you
problem with the
excel
Mets.
at
That
one,
bullpen has been because there have been times
it's
the
not the
starter
it's not the
starts great.
bullpen's fault. It's not the bullpen's fault. You
I
know
mean,
what happened? The bullpen was great. Yo, we were number one in all categories, bro. In
I know
offense and fucking pitching and bullpen. Our
they're
ERAs
the
were
best
super
ERA.
low.
They're 2.1. We had in the last podcast, not the last one, but whenever we did in April, there was a podcast we talked about how they had the lowest ERA in the
In
majors. They led
baseball,
all majors in the month of May, June, or it might have been May, whatever.
they were crazy in all categories. They were crazy with it.
They were just killing. I was
This
like,
shit happened.
man,
But you know what happened when it started with the rotation that they couldn't go past 4 innings, 5 innings, and then the bullpen got taxed. You know what I'm saying? The bullpen was great, but then it got taxed, and then he had to rebuild the bullpen, and then he had to bring up these kids up because the rotation was just complete trash. Then we stopped hitting altogether, and then the juggling of the lineup is crazy to me too, bro. Listen, just be consistent with the lineup so everybody knows what their job is. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's number one, he's not going for a home run. He's just trying to get on base, man. And number one is a fast guy, so you know what? He can, intend on stealing second too if he can. You know what I'm saying? And then you start the ball rolling. Baseball, it's not. It's you have different pieces. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have a number four slot. You know what I'm saying? For that type of situation, we have those type of players that play that position well in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's different chess pieces. You know what I'm saying? And they do different things. And this is how you build a real baseball team, man. If you keep swapping these guys out here, there, over here, now you're over here. You know what I'm saying? That they can't get comfortable. You did too much. It's like if whoever's in charge of that is the problem. And if it's Mendoza, I don't think it's Mendoza. I think it's coming from upstairs. He's just there.
It's definitely not Mendoza. It's all about the analytics. This is what it's about. This is what I hate about analytics, because the analytics take away the heart. Because if your heart's telling you he's not good, take him out. Don't keep him in there. But the problem is they say, well, if he's starting to struggle in the second go around of the lineup, take him out. Don't wait till he gets into the third round against the lineup, third time around. Then it's too late. And that's what they do. They leave him in there too long because here's the thing: Mendoza knows, geez, man, this guy's 4 innings. Now I gotta use my bullpen again.
Again.
Tax, 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 tax. Now the bullpen's getting tired. Now you gotta lean on Diaz every day. He doesn't get rest, and that's why he's struggling a little bit because
Everybody's
a
struggling.
lot of pressure's on him, and if you give him a 1 run lead, it's gonna be hard for him because Diaz needs to come in when there's like a 3 run lead. That then he does well. I'm just being serious. It sounds silly, but he
Nah, I
does
mean,
well. And when you put him in a run one situation, it
oh, he's gonna
just
blow it.
he's just gonna blow it. But it just and then
He's gonna
that
blow it, bro.
destroys his confidence, and he knows that. I'm sorry, but it's a mind game.
He
Think
has no
about it.
confidence.
But
He
part
has.
of that is that you overuse him,
Yeah, he's
and your
taxed
arm
too.
gets
Everybody
tired.
is.
And not only is they just overusing him, when he's out there, he's pitching like he's got like work. It's not like 1, 2, 3, here we go. It's not like 3 batters and they're done. He's pitching like 4 or 5 batters in 1 inning. That's a lot. Most closers are
Yeah,
for
because he's
3 games.
hitting them. He's walking them. He's
He's
doing all types of
walking
stupid
them.
shit.
He's giving up a
Hitting them.
dumb
He's
hit,
hitting them. He
hitting
pass
them,
balls. You know what I'm saying? All types of crazy
throwing the ball
shit.
in the other team's dugout. It's just like,
Yeah,
hey,
yo, yeah. No,
pass
he's
ball.
really.
Alvarez can't catch it because he crossed him up.
He's. Nah,
It's
this
just
fucking guy is incredible. With yo, he gives you,
uh,
anxiety, ulcers, bro. Fucking with that guy, I hate him right now. And
yeah.
the whole team is just. But you know what? I'll tell you right now. I've said it already to a couple of people today. If the Mets make the playoffs, I guarantee you a World Series championship. That will happen. That will happen. If we make the playoffs, I guarantee you a long run. I guarantee that something's gonna happen. This team is like we've seen it happen already. We've seen this team in action. We've seen what this team can do. The pieces are there. I don't know why it's not working. All right, this is the second year in a row where Stearns has to ask himself, "What's going on here? I don't understand this." All right, we have a great ball club. We've seen you do it. You had an amazing first half, and then you just completely fell apart. Last year it was a complete opposite. He was like, "What the hell is going on with this team? I don't understand." And then all of a sudden they went on that run, and then they played baseball. It's now I don't know. I don't know. And for some reason we're holding on, to that last slot. Let's see. Hopefully we can
Well,
keep it.
yeah, holding on because what do you call it? Um, Cincinnati, Arizona, San Francisco, they're all literally 1 game ahead of have
Nah,
basically essentially the
it's all
same
very
record,
close. It's all close.
and
It's all
they're
very
only two
close.
games ahead of. They're a game ahead of Arizona. I don't know, but it's crazy. Arizona is a game above 500. That's crazy to think that they might make that last spot. But the Mets are 5 games above 500. I don't see them losing it. If they lose it, man, someone might be the sacrificial
Yeah, it's gonna
lamb
be
for the Mets, and
Mendoza.
it's going to be the
Mendoza.
GM, in my opinion,
Oh no,
or
it's
the
not.
manager.
It's gonna be
Um,
the manager. It's not gonna
it's
be.
going to be
It's
the
not gonna be
manager
Stearns.
because
Stearns didn't do anything wrong.
no,
He
he did what
proved
he
it.
was
He
told.
proved
He
it.
brought,
What you mean? He got the talent. He put the
he
team
got the
together.
talent,
He
and they
did
didn't
well.
perform.
No, they
Yeah.
did perform. They fell off the fucking face of the earth. They
Well, no, the
performed.
guys you got in the trade deadline haven't performed,
Oh, but guess what? They were
but the other
performing over
guys haven't
there. They were
performed either.
They were performing over there where they were at. They were doing
Yeah, I
excellent
mean,
things. They were doing excellent things on the other side over there. When they came over here, something happened.
I don't know
So
if it's change of scenery or knowing that there's pressure or not comfortable with your environment. It does take a while. It's new setting, new. I don't know if the field dimensions make a big difference between City Field or Camden Yards or,
I mean, it does, but
Oracle Park in San Francisco. I don't buy that, but maybe it does. But either way, something has gone
something's
awry,
wrong.
and it's because of that they literally gave the division away because they were
They
up for a
did.
while. They were like 7 games above the Phillies, and they were like, "Oh, they're
Yeah.
gonna win this division easy," because Philadelphia's struggling. But there was a time where the Mets and the Phillies were both struggling, So, but even in that struggle, Philadelphia wasn't gaining ground, and then the Mets just
They
kept on
weren't.
struggling. All of a sudden, Phillies made those trade deadlines, and they just ran off with Duran, who's been, in my opinion, probably the best closer so far of the season. Um, but anyway, the other team that is hot right now they're 3.5 out of a wild card is the Texas Rangers. They've been, they their lineup, they're doing it with, the guy, the likes of Corey Seager, Marcus Simeon, Evan Carter, those guys here. They look like a very formidable team. Like, oh wow, because in the at the trade deadline, at the All Star game, they're not gonna make it. I just felt like they were like walking like half awake in the first half of the season. I'm like, how's this team not good? They have such a good rotation. They got Valdi, Degrom, all these guys,
Yeah, but that happens to a lot of
and
teams. That happens
they
to
just
Boston too.
sleepwalking.
Happened to
And
Boston
then,
too, bro.
yeah, now they got hot, and the bats have finally showed up. Adolis Garcia's doing well, Carter, and all these guys. Um, but they recently just swept the Brewers, and who have the best record in the majors and who clinched their division recently. And at one point, they took 2 out of 3 from the Astros, and because of that, it allowed Seattle to get ahead or tie for the American League West. But
It's
right
crazy.
now, yeah, they got hot, but it's a little too late because looking at the record, they're for the wild card, they're 79 and 73, so they're 3.5 out. Um, so they got Cleveland
Yeah,
and Boston
Boston.
ahead of them,
Hmm.
and they're only 4 games behind Houston. Um, so Houston, it's gonna come down to Houston and Seattle to win that division. But Texas got hot at the right time for a moment. It's like, oh, they're gonna make it, and then now they've lost a couple. Um, but I was impressed they were able to do that with some of their guys, not producing, and all of a sudden they're getting hot at the right time, which is what you want. But the problem is, it's a little too late. Um, because the last wild card team is Boston, and
And they ain't
they're
going
barely
anywhere.
hanging on.
They're gonna hang on.
Um,
They're
they're
looking better
gonna
than the
get it
Mets.
because the American League East is so bad
So
that
bad. They're so bad that three teams out of
three
the
teams are
three
gonna
teams
make
made
it.
it. That's not bad at all. That's great. That means that they're tough. Think
Well, that
about it.
just
Think
tells you
about
those
it. Think
divisions are
about it.
bad. Well, yeah, I guess so. You could say that, but because that means what was it last year? All 5 teams, American League East, finished with a winning record, where this year it's only gonna be 3 out of the 5. So that's still pretty good. That's a good percentage back to back years. Um, but they're clearly not the best division this year. Um, American League West, seems to be the best one as far as with the Dodgers and
Listen,
the
bro.
Padres.
This shit is crazy because think about it, bro. The Dodgers are not gonna win 100 games this year, right? They have 84 games. Philadelphia and Milwaukee are the only two teams that I think can possibly make it happen. Win 100 games this season. It's pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because Philadelphia already
Milwaukee's
lost 61.
Milwaukee is
Milwaukee,
like the Tampa Bay Rays. They lose. They always lose their best pitchers, either via trade or free agency, and they just find new arms. They're like Tampa. Always find new talent somewhere and somehow. Always find new pitching. They never miss a beat. The problem is they get to the playoffs and then they do the Toronto Blue Jays when they just fall apart or just
I
don't show
mean,
up.
you can't
But
blame,
this year, last year, think about it. They should have won against the
if it
Mets.
wasn't
They
for
should,
Alonso, if it
but
wasn't for,
if it wasn't for Alonso and Williams, because Devin Williams
I
shit the
was that
bed,
shit bad, but
and
that's the same thing. I'm saying the same thing. He
the
threw the
Mets
pitch
took
and
advantage of it.
Alonso took advantage, of course. But
Yeah.
think about it. If it
So,
wasn't for Alonso,
Alonso saved the Mets, and he carried
exactly.
them all the way to the AL, NLCS.
But
Uh,
let's see what
but
happens this year.
it's yeah.
It's gonna be
So who
crazy.
knows?
I mean, listen
But
though, that it's already been written almost. Like if you look at the National League, it's already there. Like Philly's already in there. Milwaukee, Chicago, all these great teams. You know what I'm saying? The Dodgers, San Diego, and maybe the Mets. That's a pretty good, we can fight out of a paperback. I think we can pull that off, man. Listen, I know we can be, we can beat any one of those teams, bro. I'm not scared of the Dodgers anymore. The Dodgers have come back
Oh,
down
because
to
you beat him
earth.
last year, and you know it.
No,
I
no,
don't
we
know
can
about the
do it.
Dodgers because
No, Dodgers ain't gonna win the World Series, not this year. I'm sorry.
no, I don't know about winning Dodgers, but I meant like it's hard to tell with the Dodgers because I feel like the Dodgers. You ever heard that saying? Stop playing with your food. I feel like the Dodgers they get bored and so they just start playing with their food. That's why they get swept by the Pittsburghs of the world, or they
Okay,
lose
that's
two
what you're
out of
saying.
three to
So you're
Baltimore.
saying that when they
They
get
take
to
it
the
easy. They
playoffs,
just they ramp it up. Yeah, they're
oh,
just like concern. It's like a marathon. Let me slow down at this mile marker, catch my breath, and then when I get to the last mile, let's go boom. And I think that's what they're
huh?
doing.
But you know what? Okay, if
But
they're
it's a
doing that,
problem. It's a problem because look at where San Diego is. They say, oh, okay, San Diego's like San Diego. Okay, the Dodgers are like the first place runner in the track meet, and San Diego sees that you slow down. Oh, you slowing? Okay, let me catch up, and that's exactly what's happening. And
no,
now
but
they're
that happened. No,
now they're
but
fighting for a division.
San Diego had the division. They were leaders in the division for a couple of days. They keep fighting in 2 games. There's still like
For a
12
couple
games left.
days. Yeah.
I know, but listen. Think about it. There's 12 games left. If LA goes on a losing streak and San Diego continues to win, it can happen. It can happen in the last couple of days because if it stays this close, it can go down to the last day of the season. You know what I'm saying? I'm not counting them out. I pray that they're able to do it because it'll be amazing to finally see a change in that division.
Yeah, I'm rooting for San Diego. I
Of course,
am
so am I. But not
it's
not today and not tomorrow. But you
no
know,
when the postseason comes if the Mets get knocked out. But
definitely.
anyway, in other news, Degrom made his first return to City Field last Friday.
Who
Um,
cares? No, I'm just playing. I love the Grom. He was great.
and let's be honest, the Mets kind of gave up on him. You know,
No, 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 no. Get out of here, bro. Listen,
didn't they
I'm the
trade him
most.
away
No, no,
or
no,
they
no,
let him
no.
walk?
Listen, bro. We did not. We gave him too many chances, bro. He was barely pushing for us. He was getting paid, bro. Texas took a chance. They got him.
He
Guess what
did get
happened? He
hurt.
got
Yeah,
hurt. He got hurt, and we all laughed on this and said, "Thank God we didn't do that." Right? And then, it took him years to finally come back to form and do this. All right.
he found
So
the
it's
fountain of
not worth the
youth.
money. It's not worth the money, bro. Because he
No,
can't help you in no type of situation and doing that shit. I don't think so, bro. We did the right thing by letting him go and not paying for him. You know what I'm saying? Because we definitely didn't need that problem. We don't need anybody sitting there getting paid, you know what I'm saying, for no reason. Listen, all right. You can see that, having him in the rotation makes a difference, and they almost made the playoffs this year. Almost. We're going to say
it's
almost.
not gonna. They're not gonna make the playoffs probably, but he's been part of the reason why they've been hot. He's been lights out and but anyway, the Mets fans were very receptive of him. They gave him a really nice warm welcome. He got to dap up the guys on the Mets, chat and explain pleasantries with everybody. So there was no hard feelings on either
Of
side, in
course
my
not.
opinion.
Of course not.
You
We knew
can't
it was
hate the
his time.
guy.
No, you can't
It
hate him.
just
They gave Iglesias
tribute, a
a
tribute
nice
video.
little welcome back to City Field because
Oh,
he
they
plays
did.
for San
Okay,
Diego now. Yeah,
you
which is
know,
a
in
mistake. Which is definitely a mistake. They should have never let that guy go. But whatever.
Yeah, but he just said it felt a lot. It was great. It means he said the fans were great to me when I was here, and they were great to me tonight. I always enjoyed taking the mound in front of the crowd. Tonight was just a special. I knew it was late in the year when I saw on our schedule, but I want the chance to pitch here. And like I said, you know, the Texas Rangers didn't know what they were going to get from him this year. Let's be honest, because he just got off an injury, so you have no clue how he's going to be. He's having a good year, uh, and he just happened to pitch well against in his first. That's what's the killer if you're a Mets fan. Of course, he comes back and looks like Cy Young again all over. It's just like my goodness,
Oh, he's doing well. He's doing well.
So he's doing well, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to carry him. But now he might be the ace for them next year. Who knows? I don't know how much is left in his tank. But either way, I can't believe he was with the Mets for 9 years. That's crazy to think. And he was the ace of that team for majority of those years, and he was very good. He had maybe what one or two bad seasons, not even. He had that one bad season that just went downhill after that. When he got injured and all that. But so it's what it is. All you can do is tip your cap off to him and thank him for his time with the New York, and wish him well. And like I said, you as a Mets, you can't worry about him what he does. You got to worry about your guys, and now they're hoping they found their new Degrom and Tong and
Yeah,
Sprout and
yeah.
was it
McLean,
McNeil McClellan.
No McLean.
And it reminds me of when they had Degrom, Harvey, and Syndergaard. That's what this reminds me of all over again.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I like the look. I like the
these
look.
guys throw harder. That's the only difference now. They throw a
I
lot
like
harder
the
than
look.
all those three guys.
I want this to work out for them because this trio right here is definitely something to me. I like this trio. I like it.
Yeah,
I just
no,
hope they
definitely.
figure out the situation because they need to really figure out what's going on with the lineup and the rotation. It's gonna be a good rotation next year. They have to keep these three guys on, let them finish the season, and figure it out, and really work on them in the off season to make them what they need to be and get them ready for the next season. But I think that I see it already. I see something nice happening there. But this year, man, I don't know. I don't know. It'd be nice to
Yeah.
make the playoffs to see what they have. Maybe they can spark something because I know that team has what it takes to win. I saw what they
Well,
did last night, and I know that
yeah.
I've seen it throughout the season. They have something. They can definitely overpower you, but it's not happening right now. We're getting to the end. We're gonna lose the last slot and be done with it. And that
Hey,
wouldn't be a bad thing either. That wouldn't be a bad thing either.
no, I disagree. See that's what everyone does that because I did that last year. I wish we didn't make the playoffs. It would have been better. No, you want to make the playoffs because it's very hard to get there, and you can say you actually made the playoffs. It's that's a hard thing to say. It's not like stupid basketball. We got play in. I hate that stupid thing. That's not making the playoffs. It's like a mercy game. Anyway, but anyway, so you want to because you definitely want to make the playoffs this year because that's going to be help for guys who just came up. That's great experience. That's a great environment. So next year, those three guys are going to be in your rotation next year. They're going to need that
Mm-hmm.
experience and know that they've been there and know how to deal with a high leverage situation like that.
I like how you think. I
That's going
like
to
how
be
you
a
think.
that's a good. You want to make the playoffs. I don't care what you're saying. No, because you're thinking with your emotions and not your brain. And I do that too. We live in the moment, and when you're angry, you're just like, hell, I want my team to lose. It's just like if the Raiders lose or the Jets or whatever they lose, and like I'm glad they lost. They suck anyway. But at the end of the day, you want the experience. And even Alvarez, he's a young, yeah, he was in the playoffs last year. Alonso, you want those guys to experience what it's like, And those guys, they went on a run last year, so they know what it's like. So if you can get your starting, you can get those guys to be involved in a run like that. That's gonna be helpful. And guess what? The teams that you're playing in the postseason, they might. I don't know if they even saw him. They never. I don't know if they ever played against him. You know what I mean?
I
So if
don't
they
think
had like the Dodgers, I don't think they played against him. You know what I mean?
mm-mm.
The Padres are playing them now, so I take that back. But and San Francisco just played them, I think, not too long ago. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So in the Philadelphia, Phillies played them. They pitch well. But the point is it's a good experience. You want those guys to be experienced, be in that environment of high leverage situations because the postseason pressure is way different than the regular season. Because in the postseason, both teams are trying and both teams are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at each other,
of
and
course.
you're getting the best play from. That's the thing I like about the postseason baseball. Every team there's no team that's lackadaisical in that they might look like it, but they're going guns to the
Nah,
wall
it's different type
because
of baseball. Yeah, because everybody, do you fuck up in an inning? That's it. You're out of there. There's
yeah.
none
So
of
that's the
that. Let's
thing.
figure it out. There's none of
Yeah,
that.
there's
Let's
not. Oh,
figure it out.
we'll let you pitch one. No, 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 no.
No, 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 no. Get the fuck out of here. You
It's a
suck.
do or die.
Yeah, it's true. That first game
So
matters.
you
Sorry.
could say you don't want to make the playoffs, but you do want to make the playoffs. It's gonna help them next year. It's and also you already know what you got to do with rotation. You know that you don't have to go after two starters now. You only need to go after maybe one
One,
starter.
one.
one starter and maybe three bullpen arms,
I don't
because you're
know.
gonna have to get bullpen help,
Now we need a DH. I would like to get
and
Schwarber and
DH,
get
and
and worry
hope
about
you get
Alonso.
Alonso to come
Alonso
back.
back
So, but I don't see Schwarber coming back because if Philadelphia is doing what they're doing, if you're Schwarber, why would you want to go to New York? I'm playing on a team that's hot, like
for more
fire.
money.
He maybe doesn't want money. Maybe he just wants to
Excuse
win
me.
a
What did
chip.
you say? Oh, so if he
Maybe
wants to win a chip, maybe that he sees that the Mets are going in the right direction and Philadelphia's going in the wrong direction because Philadelphia's getting old and
but
it's
he
not going to be
knows
easier for them. It's going to be easier for the Mets to win a championship right after this year.
no,
It's
that's
going to be
true.
easy.
But if Philadelphia goes on a run
Oh, they can win
and
it this year. They can totally
they
win
can
it
win
this year.
this year, right? And they're like, you know what?
Nah, they'll dump
Philly likes
everything.
him. They could
Nah,
just
they'll
be like, you know
dump.
what? Let's just give you extra money. Take the losses where we if we have to. They might just
Nah.
give
You
him
know,
another money, another
they'll dump
contract.
everything. They'll dump everything. If they win a championship with this team again, they'll dump everything.
Maybe that's true.
They'll
That's a
dump
good point.
everything.
If
You
they
know
win
why?
it, then yes. If
Remember,
they
because they
lose,
would
they might
do, they
try
would
again.
do. Yeah, if they lose, they might try again. Because but if they win, they can dump everything and say, all right, now we can start the new, the rebirth of the Phillies. You know what I'm saying? Because
So you would have Schwarber as first base or DH,
oh
or vice
man,
versa,
doesn't
or
I
just
would
rotate.
no no. I would make Schwarber the DH, and then I would keep Alonso at first, and then once in a blue moon, you know do the swap once in a blue moon. But that would be a great look for us, man. If what's 50 home runs on top of the other 40 something that fucking Soto's gonna hit, plus another 30 from what I'm saying, Alonso, maybe 40, and then another 30 something from Lindor, and we're talking, man. And then, 10, 15, 20, 25 from the other guys, like something small, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Well, the other hot team is the Philadelphia Phillies. They've been lights out since the trade deadline. They clinched the division. They clinched the playoff spot.
They
Actually, I don't know
sure
if they've.
did.
Yeah,
They won the
they
division,
won
bro.
the division 2 years in a row. Um, so what do you call it? Um, so yeah, they won the division and
Bro, they swept the
they're in
Mets in a
complete. They have
four-game
control.
series. They
So
just destroyed us, bro.
yeah, so now the Phillies, they basically, if they want to, now that they are playing for seeding in the playoffs, so they still have something to play for as far as who's the
Number one
first and
seed.
second. Looks like Milwaukee's going to run away with that, so they're going to be a second seed. So they're going to have to play
Nah,
for the first
nah. What are you
round wild
talking about?
card.
How could you say that right now? They basically have the same record. They both have a 92 and 59, right? And the other, and
91-61.
it's in one. It's the same fucking record,
So
bro. There's 12
yeah, that's
games
true.
left. Get out of here with that shit. We're fucking fighting that shit out all the way
So
to
they're
the end.
waiting for one because remember in baseball, if you get the number one spot, you get the bye week.
Excuse me, and don't forget that Milwaukee could lose the next two series, and Chicago could come out of nowhere and
They
fucking
just
take the
clinched it.
division.
Yeah, they
They know
just
they
clinched the
clinched a
spot.
spot through the wild
Yeah,
card. You know what I'm saying? They didn't clinch. The division is still up for grabs. All right, so don't get it twisted.
yeah. No,
The division is still up for grabs. So like 88 and 92, that's very close as well. And there's enough games for something fucked up to happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's up for grabs too. So that's exciting baseball there as well. And then you got the Detroit Tigers. I'm gonna say they ran away with it. Cleveland's not gonna
oh,
go
the Central
anywhere.
sucks.
Yeah, well,
And Cleveland's not going to make it. Kansas City, they're not going to make it. White
uh,
Sox are the White Sox.
yeah,
So they basically got a free. Basically, they had an easy path to making the playoffs. Um,
yeah. And the West
you
has a
know,
great
the
shit going.
West and the
Too.
East are the American League East and the West are the two teams that are going to go down to the. Those are going to go down to the wire. That's why for the Yankees, you got to sweep Baltimore because if you lose 3 out of 4 to Baltimore, which I'm praying that they do, and Toronto plays Kansas City, which is a good chance, they're gonna need those games at Kansas City, so they're gonna win those games. So if Baltimore helps out the Blue Jays. I want to see Blue Jays win because I hate the Yankees more than the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays are like the team.
I
They're
don't
like the
hate
Orioles. You feel
Blue Jays.
sorry for them, and you
I don't
want
feel sorry for them. I don't know what happened
it's
to them. They
I
just
know.
started playing baseball, but I don't hate them.
No,
I
I
fucking
don't. You
hate
know
the
they.
Yankees. I don't hate. I don't hate. I hate the
n-
Yankees. I don't even hate
No,
the
I hate
Phillies.
the
I
Yankees. You
like the
crazy?
Phillies. I like the Phillies. Everyone says, "Oh, the Phillies." I like the Phillies. I like their squad. I like their villains, bro. They. I like the way the vibe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't explain it to you, but the Phillies are the
They
Phillies.
remind me of the 2021 Atlanta Braves. They just were magical and they got hot at the right time, and all it's what it seems like over there now. They're a
Nah,
fun team to
I
watch.
don't. I don't like Atlanta at all. I don't like Atlanta at all. Fuck Atlanta.
Well,
But
you don't like
not
Atlanta
like
because
I don't.
they always have your number. But
No, no, no,
besides
no,
the
no. It's
point,
not about that. It's not about that. I don't like the team. I don't like the team because if the
the,
Phillies just raped us, and I'm still cool with them. You know, what I'm saying I still like the dynamic of the team. You know, what I'm saying I like what they bring to the table. I like them, but it's okay. It's okay.
and
We'll see
then
what
the
happens.
like I said, the Milwaukee Brewers. They're the first team to clinch the postseason berth. Um,
Oh, the
you
first
know,
team was the Phillies this year.
no,
The
the best
Phillies
team.
was the
No,
first. The best. The first team was the Phillies to
I
clinch.
thought it was the Brewers.
No, it was the Phillies. The Phillies were the first team to clinch. I believe. I'm not. Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure about that. Oh well, they clinched the division. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Nobody else has claimed the division. The
No,
only
they
team
clinched
that's
a
claimed
playoff
the
spot. They didn't clinch
uh,
the division. The
who the
Brewers.
Phillies? No, the
No, the
Brewers clinched the division. They did. That's what
oh
I'm
the
saying. But
oh I see.
The
Phillies
Phillies are
probably
the
yeah.
first team to take the division.
They're the first team to no, they're the first team to take the division, but technically the Brewers clinched a playoff spot. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah, sure. So I know with Chicago,
The
but I'm
division,
saying they have the. It's
yeah,
not
but
over yet.
Philadelphia is the first team to win the division, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm
Those are two
saying.
different things.
Things
Yeah,
exactly.
you know. But anyway, uh, you know,
I
they have
think
a
it's time for the pitcher and the hitter.
so you know, I saw the interesting. We're gonna get into the Mets, but I just found this article. They're just basically saying how I think the issue was that they don't have a good chemistry. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know. They just seemed very different than last year. I think Soto's
It's
gonna
not
be
the same
better next
team. It's
year.
not even the same team. It's not even close to the same team. Last year's team was
Well,
way better than.
well, what what, what major subtractions did you have other than Iglesias?
I mean, it's not even about that. It's about how the lineup was structured. You know what I'm saying? How the rotation was
The
put together.
rotation was the big difference. That
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with that.
And everything was different, bro. Everything made sense. Everybody had their job. Nobody was taking time from another player just because they wanted to give them playing time. That's how I feel this year's going. I feel like this is a joke, and I don't like it. Last year, everybody had there was more structure to the team. You know what I'm saying? We were
Mm.
dangerous in a lot of different spots and areas, and we didn't need Juan Soto. Yeah, granted, Juan Soto, he did okay. He finally kind of like figured
He
it
had
out.
a good season,
He
30
put the
30.
numbers up. He
You
put the
know,
numbers up. For his first year as a Met. I mean, listen, we're talking about a guy that never had problems hitting anywhere. For some reason, he came here, he had problems hitting. You know what I'm saying? So that goes to
well, he
say
started off slow.
he started off slow. I mean,
It's like
yeah,
Lindor when he first came. So I don't see an
yeah,
issue.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. But
Now here's the thing. This is what you got him for. How is he gonna do in the postseason? Is he gonna be like what he did in the Yankees last year? He was on fire and he was carrying them, or is he just gonna completely fall off the face of the earth and be like, "Well, Soto,
nah,
who's
nah,
that?
but
I dn't know he was on the
nah,
Mets."
nah. Get the fuck out. That's not gonna
That's what you
happen. You
got him
know
for.
why? No, that's not what's gonna happen. You know why? Because listen, in a
Why?
playoff situation, he's a threat in so many different ways. Listen, if
Oh
you don't
yeah,
want to pitch to him, he's not
walking.
gonna swing at it. He's not gonna swing at it. If it's not in his wheelhouse, he's not
He
gonna
doesn't
swing at it.
chase. He's
He
very
doesn't
good.
chase shit. All right. So let me explain something to you. So you know what that means? That every time Soto comes up to bat,
He's gonna
he's
work.
gonna get on base. We got something to work with. We got our man on base. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody says. In a playoff situation with men on base, with no outs, you're not pitching to Soto. You're gonna walk him. If you have an open base, you're walking him. And you know what?
And you're
Tell me,
taking chances against Alonso is what you're
Alonzo,
saying,
and that's a mistake too. You know what I'm
or
saying? Pick your
Lindor.
poison. Pick your poison. Pick your
Yeah.
poison. But this is why I say that the team can definitely switch it up in the playoffs. I think if they catch the spark, it's over for everybody. Guarantee you.
So, speaking of the Mets, I think you got to look at which guys, because remember, what people don't know for baseball, in the postseason, you can choose who makes the postseason roster and who does not. So, the one guy I know for sure is not going to make the postseason roster is Manaya. Who else do
That's
you
not
think
true.
is not going to?
Of course, Manai is gonna make the
Nah, he's been
postseason.
terrible.
Nah, he'll make it. You know why? Because he has the
They have no choice.
experience. He has the
Oh,
experience, and guess what? He's a lefty. You know what I'm saying? And when you go up against the Dodgers who don't hit lefty, you know what I'm saying? You need that arm on your, you know what I'm saying? And you have Peterson as well, you know what I'm saying? And if you go
Peterson's going to be a
seven
bullpen.
games, if nah, definitely not. He's not going into the bullpen because he's one of the few out of the rotation that can actually go 7 innings with no problem. And he's another lefty, you know what I'm saying? So like you need these lefties. Lefties make a difference in the playoffs. Lefties are hard to hit, bro. And if I'm man, listen, like you said that I should be saying, I want to be in the playoffs, and I'm already making plans for it. Then. But we're coming down to it, so we need the pitcher and the hitter of the week. Lash, talk to
So
me.
the
Who's the
hitter of the week is Josh Bell of the Washington Nationals on September 8th versus Miami in Washington's 15-7 win. Josh Bell went
crazy?
4 for 6, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 3 runs.
Oh,
That's pretty
brother,
impressive for a team that's
for an
just
old
awful.
man. Nah, it's pretty
And an old
impressive
guy. Remember,
for an old man.
he's considered old in baseball years. He came up with the Pirates and was great with them, and now he's bounced around for a while. He was a part of the trade from San Diego to get Soto. Remember,
Yep,
and him and Abrams and so on and so on. And then the other guy, the gunslinger of the week, is Garrett Crochet of the Red Sox, who are just hanging on. They're probably gonna make the playoffs.
they're probably not gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna make the playoffs with no
I said
problem.
they're probably going to make the playoffs.
Oh, definitely
No,
making it.
going to make the playoffs. They're
Okay,
gonna get in there.
they're definitely gonna get
Anyway,
in there.
yeah, the gunslinger of the week is Garrett Crochet against um, versus the A's, whatever you want to call them, Los
The,
Angeles, Las
the,
Vegas.
the
I never know what to call
Sacramento
them.
A's, whatever.
Yeah, he went in the 7-0 win against them. He went 7 innings, 3 hits, allowed 0 runs and 10 strikeouts.
That's fucking amazing.
And that's what you need. That's the type
In
of
a
pitcher you
playoff
need
situation,
in a
exactly.
three-game because they're going to be in a wild card team. They're going to be a three
Yep,
game race. So if you can have him start one of your games, you just need to win
perfect,
2 more games. You just need one more
perfect,
game, you know.
perfect. It's perfect.
And then the trivia question. This says I kind of like this one. I didn't know the answer to this, but anyway, who was the first American League team that Nolan Ryan pitched for? Remember, he pitched for the Astros,
Yeah, I know that, but you know
but
what?
at the time
I
they were part of the National League, and he
Yeah,
pitched
but
for
I
them.
remember that I had the baseball card, bro. I was very big on baseball cards. I had over
Me too. You still
500,
have your baseball
6,000.
cards?
No, I wish
Where'd you put
I
them? I
don't.
lost mine,
I don't know.
man.
I lost mine too in the
Cleaning
garbage.
the room.
My mom probably threw them shits out in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? I
You
didn't keep.
think so?
Yeah, 'cause I didn't keep.
Dude, imagine if you had those cards, how much money you could get
Oh
nowadays.
my
If we
god.
only knew better. If we only
Yeah, if
knew.
you only knew, if you only knew.
My
Kept them in
goodness.
good condition. They weren't in good condition, but I had so many. But listen, bro, I remember having this baseball card, and he pitched for the Angels, bro. I remember that.
Yep. The
I had a
Cal
lot
at the
of old
time they're
school. Yeah,
California Angels
yeah, I remember that. I remember that funny hat they wore too. It's funny.
with the A with the
I
wings on
think
the side of the
no,
A,
no, that was way later.
or the one with the hair.
This was a pointy A with a halo on top.
They
It
still
was
have
a
that, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's like but not quite like this. It was
It's
a
a
little
lot
different.
bigger.
It was a little no. The A was a lot smaller in a way. It was weird, but
Hmm.
it's similar to that. But this is more of a a new look for it.
Remember when the Angels were good in the early 2000s when they had the rally monkey? Remember that?
No, I don't remember
With
that. But
Vladimir
that
Guerrero and all
oh
these other
no, they had
guys.
now they has
They had
decent
a
teams.
really good team. That was before Trout got there. And they were good, man. I remember, man, them in the playoffs. It's like, man, this team is always good. But anyway, that's the end of the episode. We got a week and 4 days left of the
Uh,
season. This
and
year we're planning on
expanding
podcasting
playoffs
through the postseason,
the
so that'll
whole
be
way.
good.
It's gonna be
Um,
fun. That's gonna be fun as fuck. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, we might be able to do it. We might be able to do it during an actual live game. Just watch the game. Just break
Oh,
down the game as it's going on.
that'll be great.
That might be better because we don't have to look for content. We can just go off. You know what I
That'll
mean? We could
okay,
just,
yeah. Nah, nah. Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Have it
because now you're
forward.
just going off of your raw opinions and emotions and you get our point of view of what's going on, kind of like a play by play, but more like a analytical breaking down. Our what we see. It's not play by play, but just telling you what's going on. But
I dig
we'll
it.
also have content. But there's teams that are providing content. The next week's episode it's going to be about who's in and who's out, who's real, who's not, because we're going to know by Wednesday. Uh, that Wednesday is the most teams. It will be the that's the break between the second to last series for the season. You know, so for the
Yeah.
Orioles we play the Yankees. Who do you guys play in the last? You
Oh,
play
we
the
play my
the Braves,
Chicago
Chicago, Miami.
Cubs,
Yeah.
the Cubs, and then Miami. Yeah.
So you got to win. So for the Mets, you got to win those games because Chicago's done. They already played. So there's a good chance they're just gonna
Nah, they're not gonna do that.
accept.
You know
Well,
why they're not
probably
gonna
not
do
because they're
that? Because
playing the wild the
they're still
division.
fighting for the division, bro.
That's true. So I take that back. So that's gonna be hard. But Miami, they got nothing to play for. But Miami might want to play spoiler. They're a tough team. You know,
Yeah, of course they're gonna play spoiler.
they're gonna
Nobody
play
wants to
tough.
tank on their record. You know what I'm saying? Listen, bro, if
No,
I'm up to bat. I'm trying to keep my average up. You know what I'm saying? Listen, right now the Mets are losing 6-4 with men on second. Juan Soto just struck out looking, and there's 2 outs, and Alonso's up to bat. If Alonso hits a home run, we tie the ball game.
it's a tie game.
That's what I'm talking about. So we're not gonna hang up just yet, but as soon as he strikes out, because I'm a Met fan, we're gonna be playing this music, and we're gonna be saying, "Have a good night," and we'll definitely see you on the next one. But we're gonna wait for Alonso to strike out because he has 2 strikes right now, 1 ball and 2 strikes,
Mm-hmm.
2 outs, one on second.
Watching my
Alonso,
MLB at bat.
Cedric Mullins at second, on second, by second, a hit 6-5 maybe. You know what I'm saying? I'll take any
I
one of
um
those.
I just can't believe with Mullins how he's only had one home run since he came to the Mets. It's been so
It's pretty
shocking how
crazy. What I
terrible he's
told you,
doing.
Alonso struck out swinging. You have a
Yep.
good night, brother.
Well,
Peace.
we'll see you next week. Good work and see you.
See ya, brother.